Welcome everyone to an informative video on the hero Magneto. Here you will be able to find good tips and tricks for this titan of a character. So without further ado, let's hop straight into this video. Before we do, I just want to mention I do have another Rivals video in the works. I just wanted to push this one out before the end of the season. So let's actually start. Magneto technically has 4 abilities, 2 of them being Projected Barrier, I meant Metal Bulwark and Particle Barrier, I meant Iron Bulwark. If you couldn't tell just then, and or you are an Overwatch player, you would know it's basically the same as Zarya Bubble, but slightly stronger and weaker at the same time. They have a shared cooldown, but you only get 1. You can either Iron Bulwark, which will protect yourself, or Metal Bulwark, which will protect your allies. Once placed, it cannot be retrieved, and goes on cooldown immediately. They have 300 health. And if a
Maximum Pulse
happens, then you will not die if it hits you. You will only lose the bubble. A good use for this ability would be, for example, bubbling your dagger if, your dagger is ulting and they use Magneto ult, or Maximum Pulse, or, I don't know, like Scarlet Witch ult, a one-shot ult. While bubbled, you are immortal, immovable, and crowd control immune, which basically means you cannot be stunned, moved, or slowed. Another use for it would be as a bailout. For example, you're, let's say, walled off because the enemy has a group, and you take 200 damage. You can bubble yourself to immediately gain 300 for a temporary amount of time. Once done, it cannot be undone, and you should survive the wall. The final use for Magneto's bubble, or final one of 2, it recharges your right click. If you fire your right click, then bubble yourself or an ally, and the bubble breaks or takes a certain amount of damage and expires, you gain your charge back instantly. It's amount-based. So, for example, if you take 100 damage, then you regain 1/3 of your charge for the right click. If you take 200 damage, then you restore 2/3 of the charge. If you take 300 damage or above, it will entirely recharge your right click. The actual final real hidden ability of your bubbles is that it actually grants you ult charge. For example, you can gain about 10-ish ult charge if you bubble in a Star-Lord, and the bubble breaks. But that's it for the Metal Bulwark and Iron Bulwark, aka the E and the F ability, by default. So, now let's talk about the next 2 abilities. What the next ability is the Iron Volley left click and the Mega Cannon right click. The Iron Volley is a fast-moving projectile that deals 40 damage on impact with a 40 damage AoE. That deteriorates over the radius of 3 meters. So if you are 4 meters away from the blast radius, you'll take about maybe 15 or so damage rather than taking the full 40. And if you get hit directly, you take 80 damage in total. So, the right click, it fires a fast-moving projectile as well, with a small AoE, not like Mantis Sleep, but it's just a very, very, very small AoE that can only hit one target. The right click will deal 40 damage when at 1/3 of the charge, aka whenever you can fire the right click again, or have the ability to. Then, whenever it is 2/3 charged, you get 65 damage. When it's 100% charged, you get 90 damage. How you can tell easier than looking at your crosshair, I guess, is by looking at the rings on Magneto's back. If he has one ring, that means he has 30% charge. If he has 2 rings, that means he has 60% charge. If he has 3 rings, that means he has 100% charge. And you can one-hit 250 or below targets with a combo that is left-click, right-click, left-click. Once done, it will deal 250 damage. But you do have to hit all 3 shots, otherwise you will not deal 250. The next ability is Metallic Current, which pulls up a shield lasting for 1.5 seconds. It has infinite health, but it has a resource meter. Once your resource meter is fully depleted, it will take 10 seconds for it to be fully recharged. You can, however, reactivate your shield before it is fully recharged. Doing so results in the cooldown for it resetting. This shield will delete all incoming projectiles rather than blocking. For example, if they use a
Maximum pulse!
or a
Fear Magneto!
then it won't explode. It will just go poof and disappear. I would recommend using it, though, to back away in bad scenarios or to back away from chokes. Well, I would not recommend spamming this ability at all. For the last of the natural abilities, they are Magnetic Descent and Meteor Imp. Magnetic Descent is your hover ability, aka your slow fall. You'll hold your jump key to activate this ability, and you will fall slower if you do so. Meteor M is your ultimate. Once used, you will fly up in the air and gain free flight, like Storm, Iron Man, and Johnny, aka the Human Torch. You have omnidirectional movement when doing so you can go up, down, left, right, wherever you want. But you don't use it as an offensive ult 90% of the time. You will almost always use it to counter another ult, like Star-Lord, Iron Man, if he's gonna be like 5k or something. Dagger ult, that's the one that you're typically going to be countering. And whilst in your ultimate, you eat all projectiles within a radius of you. This does not include beams, however, like Cloak's left click, or Iron Man's right click, Storm's E, or Witch's left click. And I could just go on and on and on about them, all the things that cannot be eaten by it, but I am not. So how would you typically counter an ultimate with Mag's ult? If it is Star-Lord ult or Iron Man ult, you just simply pop your ultimate, and you should just have GG easy. For Star-Lord, it is for, at the minimum, 2 seconds, I believe it is, and at the maximum, 4 seconds. And the other main use for Mag ult is to counter Cloak and Dagger's ultimate. How to do so is you pop your ultimate almost as soon as you hear Us Against the World, then you should track them. If you watch carefully, you'll notice that it's -1, -2, -3, and then -4. You want to shoot your Mag ult on the 4th dash. If you shoot it on the 3rd dash, dagger will evade it almost immediately. If you don't shoot it fast enough on the 4th dash, then you will miss the mag ult, and the dagger should have went into cloak form and used fade to get out of the way of your ultimate. When using mag's ult to, well, not to counter a support ult or an ultimate in general, then you should take 2 things into consideration. Well, 3 things actually. Your environment, aka where everybody is, how good your mag ult would be in that scenario, 2, how long it would take you to get there, and 3, how much charge you will gain. Because how mag ult works is it's reliant on 2 separate factors: charge and duration. If your duration was half a second, it's going to deal less than 100 damage. If your duration was 4 seconds and you just let it run out, then you will deal 300 damage on direct impact. So, for example, if you have 99 charge but you don't even wait a second to fire off your mag ult, it will deal roughly 347 damage. Now, if we look on the other end, and we have 99 charge, but the ult runs out, then we are going to be dealing 597 damage, roughly, on direct impact. The reason why we don't want to have 100% charge, though, is because then the mag ult will explode, and you will not be able to use it. It will just cancel out and just, poof. And once your ult finishes, then you can use your glide ability to glide down and allow yourself to gain high ground if it was accessible, or to just slow your descent. Maybe you need to stay up higher because there's an immoral or something. A little fun fact that I learned while making this video: it takes 4 minutes and 20 seconds for your natural generation charge to generate you an ultimate. That is, if you do not shoot anything, do not damage anything, and do not use your bubble. Do not ask me why I tested this, but I tested this. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more content like it, how about telling me by, liking the video, and maybe commenting and subscribing? Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Maximum Magneto!